Mount Assiniboine is arguably Canada's most iconic peak, and camping here is one of the most coveted experiences in the Rockies. Situated deep in the backcountry, the area features vast alpine meadows, crystal lakes, and dramatic mountain scenery, and is completely cut off from the outside world. In this video, I'll show you how we hiked in from Sunshine Village, spent 3 days exploring, and what you can expect if you want to do the same. Mount Assiniboine Provincial Park is located in the western Canadian province of British Columbia. There are many ways to get here, but today we're going to take the hardest by hiking in over 30 kilometers from the neighboring Banff National Park in the province of Alberta. Our hike will start here, at Sunshine Village ski hill. We'll then follow the trail through alpine meadows and glacial valleys to reach Mount Assiniboine Lodge, before finishing at Magog Lake campsite, where we'll spend another 2 days exploring the area before making use of the affordable helicopter ride back out to Mount Shark in Spray Valley Provincial Park, Alberta. There are 2 ways to reach this trailhead, both of which start here, at Sunshine Village's base terminal, where for $70 you can catch a gondola and chairlift to the hike starting point. You're also free to hike there, although this will add a few hundred meters of elevation gain and 2 hours to your already long day, whereas the 4.5 kilometer long gondola only takes 20 minutes, plus another 10 minutes on the chairlift. I advise you to dress warm because even though it was the start of August, the altitude and the fact we were caught in a cloud inversion made for a bone-chillingly cold ride in the chairlift and start to the hike. Welcome to the aptly named Sunshine Meadows. At least that's what I would be saying had it been any other month of any other year, because right now in 2025 we're having one of the cloudiest, wettest and coldest summers on record. At least that's what I'm being told. Nevertheless, we're quite excited today because we're going to go to Mount Assiniboine Provincial Park and Camp Magog Lake for 3 nights. Now today it is in the single degree digits here. It is so cold in the hands and we've got 30 kilometers to get to the lake. So we're going to get on our way, get moving, hopefully get warmed up, and it looks like the cloud and the fog is breaking. So let's go. So we reckon this will take about 8 or 9 hours to get to Magog Lake. And we've got the added challenge of carrying all our stuff with us for 3 days. So we've all got these big old backpacks on, and they're about 18 to 20 or more kilograms, which is about 40 to 50 pounds for any of the Americans watching. But we're in a group of 5 today. So we got myself, I got Big Tom, I got Courtney, wee Kalina, and Tav. Hey.
Take my time, dear, just to keep you around here. Know what they say.
We've just reached Lake Howard Douglas. It's about 6.2 kilometers into the trail, and there's a steep little hill just as you come here, and an even steeper downhill to get to the lake. And the lake is muddy as hell, but we're pressing on. We're just near Porcupine Lake and a path splits there. You can follow the path down to the lake or do what we've done and take the Highline Trail, which I think we met a man on the trail. He said it's a little shorter to get to Magog Lake. It shortens the trail by about 1 kilometer, and it's a much more gradual ascent or descent down into the valley. One thing I can say for sure is you should definitely do this Highline Trail when you come to Assiniboine if you're hiking from Sunshine Meadows. The views are pretty cool. You get some very typical BC valleys, forested valleys, and it's a nice break from coming down the mountain, being stuck in the trees with no views. We're a few kilometers from Og Lake, and this is a pretty relentless little slog.
It's all uphill from like Porcupine Lake, more or less, and yeah, the weight of these bags is starting to get to us and we're running out of water. But we're persevering and we're pushing on.
I'm just taking my time, just taking my time here. I'm just taking my time, just taking my time, dear.
We've just reached the Assiniboine Lodge and it feels like reaching an oasis in the desert because we are all very parched and we're hoping for a cold beer.
Taking my time here. I won't leave you behind, won't leave you behind.
So unfortunately we missed the time for drinks here at the lodge. We had to be here by between 4 and 5 p.m. but luckily the nice man in the lodge was able to sort us out. So yeah, I'll say sláinte to that. I've not opened my beer yet, but give it a cheers. Very much needed after that hike, but we're still not at the campsite yet. We still got 2 kilometers to go. The sad thing is you can only get drinks here on flying days. So what was it, like Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays or something like that? I'll put it on screen. But yeah, pretty big kick in the teeth because these guys don't drink beer and we were all hoping for a Coke as Tom takes a swig of Fireball from his flask, admitting defeat.
Thought it was a good idea.
We're going to enjoy this beer. Courtney's enthralled, not happy. Morale is at an all-time low and we've still not reached the campsite, but it's okay. We're going to chill for a bit, get the energy up and get some food and relax. Right, we have arrived to the campsite and after a big kerfuffle and running around trying to find free pads because we got here quite late, we managed to find 2 beside each other, but unfortunately that means one of our group have to be on the other side of the campsite. So get here early if you want to camp together as a group. And one thing I will say is when you come here, take a photo of the map at the entrance to the campsite because then you're able to find your way around because it's quite big and you might be running around for a while if you arrive late like we did. Anyway, now we're gonna put everything that's smelly in a bear locker and then head down to the little shelter, cook some food, get water stocked up and just relax because we are completely burnt out. Oh, man. It's day 2 of our 3-day, 3-night adventure to Assiniboine Provincial Park and we were all so tired this morning we slept in very late. I think the last of us got out of bed at 11 a.m. and it is now 10 to 1. We just had breakfast, just got ourselves in a state where we feel alive again. What we're going to do today is take a very slow, chilled day because the weather is completely overcast, it's kind of cold and we're just going to go for a little hike out to Wonder Pass or around the lakes here. And tomorrow we're going to get up for sunrise on the Nublet or maybe even Nub Peak, which gives you that very characteristic view of Assiniboine Park that you've probably seen on social media. But right now we're going to get geared up, head out, go on a little hike and think later we're going to come back and dip in the lake for a little wash because we are absolutely disgusting after the trek we made yesterday. So let's get packed up and we'll hit the trail. We've just come across the Niset huts here in Assiniboine Provincial Park, which are quite close to the lodge, and you actually book these through the lodge for $20 a night and they look incredible. We're standing outside the communal cook shelter and it is so cool inside. We're very, very jealous right now, and considering it's only $10 more than tents, I think it's definitely worth it if you can get a reservation here. But from what I'm told, reservations here are very, very hard to get, but do try. I think the next time I come back here, I'd like to stay in one of these little huts. So Kalina and I have made an executive decision to climb this peak over here, which I forget the name of, but I will put it on screen. I think it's actually just called Wonder Peak. This is going to be a short climb, but it's kind of steep, but very, very doable. And all you have to do is gain a little bit of elevation and you get this big wide vista of the Meadows, which is incredible. So if you have the time and energy, come do Wonder Peak. Come back from the hike and we've come down to the lake for the dreaded dip, but you cannot come here and not get in the water, and the sun has come out for us but it doesn't look like it's going to stick around. So let's get in and get out as quick as we can. No one is looking forward to this. Oh, so cold, but so worth it. So much fun, even though it's painful.
I just got 2 little green peas and a little green bean.
That was great.
Oh, right, I think it's time for some dinner to warm us up.
I think see we get tomorrow.
Day 3 and we're up for sunrise. We're going to go try and get to the nublet before the sun comes over the mountains and hits Mount Assiniboine. It's the first clear day since we've been here. So I've slept in a bit and now we're in a bit of a rush, so fingers crossed we get there in time. Well, the sun finally came out after waiting for the best part of an hour. Like, it didn't look like it was going to happen for us. Unfortunately, Assiniboine is still capped in cloud, but we did see it on the hike up. It did come out quite clearly before the sun rose. Either way, it's still beautiful, but it is so cold. Even in August, it is freezing up on the nublet there, so do bring gloves. But I think I'm pretty happy with the photos I've got. Now we're going to get some breakfast, maybe walk around the lakes, and today we're going to chill, head to the lodge, get some beers, and get ready to fly out nice and early tomorrow morning. some glorious weather. So we're gonna head down to the lake here and get a wee dip. How we doing, Tom?
Good.
Kicking back?
Look good, feel good.
So one of the cool things about this beach is all these little stone deck chairs, and you'll find them all along the beach near the campsite. And this is honestly such a cool place to chill out. You got Assiniboine right there. Freezing cold water, much colder than yesterday.
Let's say we ski 2-3 days in red,
We have a variety of sizes
day number
in the
4,
gray and
maybe
green, but the
soar.
pink.
We've come back to the lodge today and everyone's got smiles on their faces because we've got beers and these guys managed to get ciders, which they couldn't get the other day. Show us your ciders, guys. Happy? Happy chappies. Got some cake and we got some pretzels and we got this view. So we're gonna chill here for as long as we can, stock up on beers and get merry. So it is the end of our time here in Mount Assiniboine Provincial Park and we've all had such a great, if not exhausting time. It was really fun to do all the day hikes out and around Mount Assiniboine and we're so glad it actually came out and we got to see it in its full glory yesterday. Today we're actually getting the helicopter back to Mount Shark and you can get the helicopter back to Canmore as well, but we weren't on the ball quick enough to get seats for that, so we're just going to get to Mount Shark and get a friend to pick us up from there. So what we're going to do now is pack up the tent, grab some breakfast and I'll show you guys what it's like to get the helicopter. Well, there you go. That was 3 days at Mount Assiniboine Provincial Park. I hope this has been insightful and useful. And if you have found it insightful or useful or just enjoyed the video, hit like because that will help YouTube push it out to other people who might also enjoy it. And if you want to keep up to date with all my future videos, hit subscribe and YouTube will let you know when I post in the future. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.